www.seidegrees.com to make a reservation. That's www.seidegrees.com.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening, my name is Amrita Koshal and this is your nightly bulletin for the 9th of February. Without further ado, let's get to the news in detail. The Liza Unity, Guyana's second FPSO vessel, comes into operation no later than next month. And once this occurs, it will complement activities at the Liza Destiny FPSO, taking production to 340,000 barrels of oil. The Stabroek Block partners, including ExxonMobil Corporation, Hess Corporation, and CNOOC Petroleum, will walk away with no less than $5.7 billion in profits. Despite being able to make multi-billion-dollar profits for its shareholders via its Prime Guyana asset, Exxon and its partners continue to deny the country full coverage insurance, which is a fundamental right, so that nations can cover any costs associated with an oil spill or other type of disaster. And on that note, we now tell you production for first oil in Guyana was had in December 2019, but from then to now, Guyana's monitoring of the crude being extracted from the Stabroek Block has been largely dependent on the information provided to the local authorities, primarily the EPA. According to Minister with responsibility for Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, Gail Teixeira, this year the administration is investing a miserly few thousand US to monitor the production of billions of dollars. This much was made clear to the members of the National Assembly on Monday when the legislative body met in its Committee of Supply to consider and approve the expenditure for which the EPA would be receiving in excess of 500,000 US to boost its capacity in this regard. Moving on, government over the years has been criticized for the way in which it has been approving field development plans for the oil and gas sector, as well as the manner in which it has allowed timelines with regard to the audits of exploration costs by the oil companies operating here. It was disclosed to the National Assembly during the scrutiny of allocations for the Ministry of Natural Resources on Tuesday that the administration has in fact allocated money this year to pay for the review of ExxonMobil's fifth development in the Stabroek Block, Ural 1 and 2 discoveries. Further, it was noted that in addition to $10.7 million allocated for the audit of exploration expenses in the Stabroek Block 2018 to 2020 and prior years, the government would also, this year, be looking to finally audit expenses for 7 other oil blocks that had been awarded. Moving on, the contract with China State Construction Engineering Corporation Limited to build the $53.7 billion new Demerara River Bridge has been terminated. This is according to Vice President Bara Jagdeo. At an event held earlier in the year, Minister of Public Works Juan Edgehill had mentioned that a specially appointed team was concluding the negotiations and all the administrative details to prepare for the signing of the contract for the new bridge. The Vice President explained that the government will now move to the second ranked bidder for the project. When the final set of tenders was opened for this project in October last year, 4 Chinese constructing firms were vying for the contract. Time check for you, 19 hours 7. We will return with more news for you shortly after the break.
Diana, join me on the Glenn Lal Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Glenn Lal Show only on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
It's our 50th birthday and we have have some amazing anniversary deals for you. With up to 55% off selected smartphones. Get the DL3 Pro Plus for only $12,500, the Samsung A03 for $28,000, and the Samsung A12 for just $30,000. Plus, with the purchase of any smartphone, you will get a 30-day Prime bundle to use with your favorite Digicel app. Visit a Digicel store today. Thank you, Guyana, for making us 15. Digicel, better together.
And now back with more news in detail. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Mansoor Nadir, disallowed any questions posed to Minister Vikram Bharat with oversight for the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission and the Guyana Forestry Commission during the considerations of the estimates for the Ministry of Natural Resources, since no money had been allocated for those government bodies. Subject Minister Bharat was the first to object when questions had been posed by his shadow counterpart in the House, AFC's General Secretary David Patterson. Since there is no allocation in the budget for the named agencies, and he also further noted, quote-unquote, these agencies are statutory agencies, and I don't believe we have ever discussed their budgetary allocations. In other stories, we now tell you East Bank police believe that a woman identified as 48-year-old Edith Rubin, who was on Tuesday found hanging from a mango tree with her feet still on the ground at Yarrow Cabra, Suzyke Linden Highway, might have been murdered. Police believe that the woman died between 0 hours 30 and 6 hours 30. She was reportedly last seen alive, imbibing with her husband and another man on her veranda, with other individuals included, but they had finished drinking and left. Only Rubin, the man, and her husband were left there, and they had reportedly continued drinking. According to the woman's husband, he and the man had decided to go to sleep. Around 4 hours, the husband recalled being awakened by the man, who then told him that he was leaving. Her husband then decided to go back to sleep. However, when he awoke around 6 hours 30, he saw his wife hanging from the mango tree in their yard. Meanwhile, investigators have tried to locate the man who had slept at the couple's home, but apparently he had disappeared. Investigations are ongoing. And finally, we tell you, with the aid of clean footage from surveillance cameras, police were able to positively identify and later arrest 2 choke and rob bandits around 22 hours on Tuesday. Surveillance cameras had captured the men working in sync to rob a 33-year-old businessman of Fowlis, East Coast Demerara, earlier that day on Crow Street, Georgetown, of a mere 700 Guyana dollars and a cell phone worth 48,000 Guyana dollars. The detained suspects, according to police, are 2 men, a 21-year-old and a 25-year-old, who were arrested at a house on David Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Based on footage obtained, it appeared as if the men were trailing their victim and had planned to rob him. The footage was then handed over to police and was uploaded to various social media platforms. After locating their whereabouts, police ranks were then dispatched to arrest the men. Time check for you, 19 hours 11. My name is Amrita Koshal, and this was your nightly newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.